Let me ask you something deeply personal. When you walk into your home, do you feel peace, or do you feel the weight of years pressing in on you? For so many senior ladies, the truth is difficult to admit. Our homes, once our safe havens, sometimes become silent battlegrounds, overflowing with items we no longer use, clothing that no longer fits our lives, and objects that quietly drain our energy instead of renewing it. And here's the thing: clutter doesn't just take up space. Research from Princeton University shows that too much visual clutter actually overwhelms the brain, increases stress hormones, and makes it harder to focus. For older women, this doesn't just mean frustration. It can affect sleep, blood pressure, even memory. The clutter in your home is often the clutter in your mind. Today, I want to walk you through 15 items, specific things, that senior ladies must toss if they want to feel an instant wave of peace sweep through their lives. Not someday. Not next week. But instantly, the very moment those things leave your home. Think about this. How many nights have you promised yourself, tomorrow I'll finally start decluttering? And then tomorrow comes, and nothing changes. That's not because you're lazy or weak, it's because clutter is emotional. Every object has a story, a memory, or a what-if attached to it. But I'm here to tell you, peace matters more than piles. And when you finally let go, what you gain is far greater than what you give away. So stay with me as we begin this journey. I promise, by the end of this video, you'll see your home and your peace of mind in a whole new light. And if you're tempted to click away, ask yourself this: do you really want to carry another year of stress into your future when the solution is right here, right now? Let's step into this together. Item number 1. Old, unused bedding. Now, let's be honest for a moment. How many of us have a pile of faded sheets, scratchy pillowcases, or blankets so thin they could barely warm a child? They're tucked away in the linen closet, folded neatly or crammed in a corner, and yet, we never use them. Why do we keep them? Sometimes it's because they remind us of our children's younger years, or maybe we once thought, I'll save this for guests. But the truth is, if guests came tomorrow, would you really offer them those worn-out sheets? No. You'd want them to feel comfortable, safe, and cared for. And here's the hidden cost. Clutter in your bedroom doesn't just take up space, it weighs on your mind. The National Sleep Foundation has shown that a cluttered sleep environment directly reduces sleep quality. When you hang on to bedding you'll never use, it's more than just wasted space, it's an invisible chain tying you to the past, keeping you from the peaceful rest you deserve right now. Imagine opening that closet and seeing only bedding that feels fresh, soft, and ready to give you comfort. That sense of order and peace translates into better sleep, lighter mornings, and even less stress. Tossing old bedding isn't just about cleaning, it's about healing. It's about saying, I deserve comfort today, not someday. And now, let me ask you something. If you've been nodding along because you know you've got those old sheets in your home, why not show a little support by pressing the like button right now? If you don't feel like liking, I'd actually love to know why. Drop me a comment below and share your reason, because your voice matters here. Item number 2. Clothes that no longer fit. We've all been there, standing in front of the wardrobe, brushing past those jeans from 20 years ago or that dress we swear we'll fit into again. We keep them as a reminder, a hope, or even a punishment. But here's the hard truth. Every time you see those clothes, instead of inspiration, you might feel guilt or sadness. And that quiet emotional weight. It chips away at your confidence little by little. Research from the Journal of Consumer Psychology shows that clutter tied to personal identity, like clothing, can trigger negative emotions more powerfully than any other type of mess. Those too small jeans don't just take up space on a hanger, they take up space in your mind, whispering not enough. And you don't need that in your life. Imagine instead opening your closet and seeing only clothes that actually fit, that make you feel strong, beautiful, and present in the life you have today. That's not just decluttering, it's self-respect. It's choosing joy over judgment. So here's the gentle challenge. Go through your wardrobe and let go of what doesn't serve you anymore. Because the real gift is wearing clothes that fit the woman you are now, the woman who deserves comfort and confidence today. And while you're thinking about that, let me ask you, have you subscribed to this channel yet? If not, why? If you enjoy these stories, If they spark something in you, hit that subscribe button. And if you don't feel like subscribing, tell me in the comments why not. I genuinely want to hear your reason. Item number 3. Expired cosmetics and toiletries. Think about that drawer in your bathroom, the one filled with half-used lotions, lipsticks you forgot you owned, or perfumes that have been sitting there for years. At first glance, they may seem harmless. But here's what many don't realize. Expired products can actually become harmful to your skin, your health, and your peace of mind. Dermatologists warn that old makeup and skincare products can harbor bacteria, leading to rashes, eye infections, or irritation. That mascara you haven't touched in 2 years. It might be holding more bacteria than a kitchen sponge. That lotion that smells just a little off. It's no longer nourishing your skin, it's stressing it. But beyond the health risks, there's an emotional weight too. Those bottles and jars often represent money wasted, or good intentions we never followed through on. They remind us of a version of ourselves we wanted to be but didn't quite become. Holding on to them keeps us stuck in guilt instead of letting us move forward in grace. Now, picture this, opening your bathroom cabinet and seeing only fresh, simple, trusted products you actually use. The space feels calm, the choices feel clear, and you know that everything in front of you is safe and worthy of you. That little shift can change the way you start and end your day. So go ahead, let those expired products go. You're not losing anything, you're gaining peace, clarity, and health. And if you've been finding these reminders valuable, maybe it's time to give this video a like. A simple click shows me you're here, you care, and you want more of these empowering seniors' health and declutter stories. And if you don't feel like liking, that's okay too, but tell me in the comments why. I'd truly love to hear your reason. Item number 4. Worn-out shoes that hurt your feet. Every closet has them, the pair of flats with the faded soles, the heels that pinch, the sneakers whose support has completely given way. We keep them because they were once our favorites, because they remind us of a trip we loved, or simply because we don't want to waste something we spent money on. But here's the truth. When shoes stop supporting you, they start harming you. Podiatrists say that poorly fitting shoes can cause joint pain, bunions, back problems, and even affect balance, something seniors must take seriously to avoid dangerous falls. That extra wobble you feel, that ache after walking across the room, sometimes it's not age, it's your shoes failing to take care of you. But the emotional side is just as powerful. Those shoes are tied to memories, weddings, vacations, careers, milestones. And letting go of them may feel like letting go of those moments. But the truth is, your memories live inside you, not in the leather, not in the rubber. Imagine instead slipping your feet into shoes that fit perfectly, that cushion every step, that make walking across your home feel effortless. Suddenly, movement feels safe again. Suddenly, you feel cared for. Your feet carry you everywhere. You deserve to honor them with comfort, not pain. So, my friend, take a hard look at those worn-out shoes. Say thank you for the journeys they've taken you on, and then let them go. Make space for comfort. Make space for safety. And if you believe in caring for yourself in these small, powerful ways, consider subscribing to this channel. Each video I create is designed to remind seniors and older women like you that you deserve peace, health, and dignity in every corner of your life. And if you don't want to subscribe, I'll ask you gently, why not? Share it with me in the comments, because your voice truly matters here. Item number 5. Stacks of old magazines and newspapers. They're tucked away in corners, piled on tables, or even stored neatly in boxes in the garage. At first, you told yourself you'd go back to read them, maybe cut out recipes, save an inspiring article, or keep that special edition about a big world event. But weeks turned into months, and now years later, those stacks stand like silent towers of paper, gathering dust, yellowing at the edges. There's a strange comfort in holding on to them. Each magazine feels like a little time capsule of your past, trends you once followed, stories you cared about, even ads that remind you of a younger version of yourself. Letting them go feels like erasing pieces of your history. But here's the hard truth, they are weighing you down. Clutter researchers say that holding on to excessive paper piles not only clogs your physical space but also creates a subconscious sense of chaos. Every glance at that stack whispers, you never finished this, you're behind, you're not caught up. And that silent whisper steals your peace, making your mind restless even when your body wants rest. Science even tells us that cluttered environments increase cortisol, the stress hormone. That's why when you walk into a clutter-free room, you immediately feel lighter. Imagine walking into your bedroom or living room and seeing open surfaces, clean tables, and space that feels calm. Suddenly, your mind has room to breathe. You don't have to throw away every piece. Pick 1 or 2 magazines that truly hold special meaning, maybe one tied to a personal milestone. Keep those. But release the rest. Because the truth is, most of those articles can be found online today. What you need most isn't the paper. It's the peace of mind that comes when the clutter is gone. So, my dear friend, ask yourself, are these papers preserving memories, or are they just preserving mess? Tossing them doesn't erase your story. It makes room for the next chapter. And before I reveal the next item, I want to gently ask you, if this message is hitting home, if you feel that tug in your heart as I describe your own home, please take a second to like this video. It tells me that this message matters, and it helps YouTube show it to more seniors who may be silently struggling with the same clutter. And if you don't want to, I'd love to hear why in the comments. Your honesty helps me grow this space for you. Item number 6. Unworn shoes collecting dust. Let's talk about something that might sting a little. Walk into almost any senior lady's closet, and tucked away in a corner, you'll find them. Pairs of shoes that have never seen the light of day. Maybe they still have the price tag. Maybe they've been worn once and then shoved back in the box. And every time you look at them, you feel that little tug, I shouldn't waste them. Maybe one day I'll wear them. But here's the truth, those unworn shoes are not just taking up space, they're carrying emotional weight. They're tiny reminders of guilt. Guilt for spending money. Guilt for not wearing them. Guilt for holding on to a someday that never comes. And science backs this up. Clutter, especially items tied to regret, triggers the brain's stress response. It's like a low-grade background noise you can't turn off. And here's the cycle, every time you open your closet, you don't just see shoes. You see broken promises to yourself. You see what ifs. And it doesn't feel peaceful, it feels heavy. Imagine instead opening your closet and only seeing pairs you actually love, pairs that are comfortable, pairs that serve you in this season of your life. That, my dear, is where instant peace begins. So ask yourself, do these shoes truly deserve a place in your home? Or are they just holding you hostage to guilt? And before we move on, I need to pause and ask, why haven't you subscribed yet? If this message is hitting home, if it's making you nod quietly because you know your own closet holds a pair or two just like this, then subscribing isn't just clicking a button. It's joining a journey toward freedom, toward living lighter. And if you're still not sure, tell me in the comments, why wouldn't you subscribe? Because if this content is speaking to you, maybe it's time to let go of hesitation just like you're letting go of those unworn shoes. Item number 7. Broken jewelry and lonely accessories. Open that little dish on your dresser, or the velvet box tucked in your drawer, and look closely. There's the gold chain with the tiny kink that never quite lays flat. The bracelet with a missing clasp. The watch that stopped 3 summers ago. A single earring waiting for a partner that will never be found. We tuck these pieces away because they're small, because they were once special, because they remind us of a person or a moment. But here's the truth, every time you see them, you feel a soft ache. Not just for what's broken, but for what isn't coming back. Psychologists call this ambiguous loss, when something isn't fully gone, but it's not usable either. And our brains hate those loose ends. Little unresolved items, like broken jewelry, create mental friction. You don't wear them, you don't fix them, and yet you can't quite let them go. So they sit, whispering each time you pass, do something about me. That whisper becomes noise. And noise becomes stress. I once spoke with a grandmother who kept a single pearl earring in a teacup by her bed for nearly a decade. It belonged to a gift from her late husband. She told me she couldn't throw it away, but it also made her sad every time she saw it. One afternoon, she placed that single pearl in a tiny memory shadow box with a photo of the two of them dancing on their 25th anniversary. Then she released the empty backs, the broken clasps, the tangled chain she would never fix. She said, I stopped grieving my drawer and started honoring my memory. Here's your gentle path forward. Lay every piece out on a soft towel. Make 3 small groups: fix, repurpose, release. Fix only what truly brings you joy and you'll wear again. Put a date on your calendar to repair it. If you don't take it in within 30 days, it moves to release. Repurpose the sentimental pieces into something wearable now. Turn a lone charm into a pendant, a single earring into a delicate pin. Let the memory live on your heart, not in a tangled corner of a drawer. Release the rest, with gratitude. Broken does not mean worthless, it simply means its purpose has changed. Let it go so your dresser, your drawer, and your mind can exhale. Because peace isn't just about clearing shelves, it's about closing open loops. And every broken clasp you finally decide on is one less tug on your spirit. If this touched something tender in you, tell me in the comments what tiny accessory has been hardest to let go, and why. Your story might be the exact courage another woman needs tonight. Item number 8. Family heirlooms you don't truly love. This is a tough one, maybe the toughest. Many senior ladies hold on to boxes, furniture, or decorations passed down from parents or grandparents, not because they love them, but because they feel guilty letting them go. But here's the hard truth. Keeping an heirloom you don't connect with doesn't honor your family, it weighs you down. I once spoke with a woman who kept a china cabinet from her mother. The problem? She never liked it. It didn't fit her home, her style, or her life. Yet for years, she let it take up space in her dining room, feeling guilty every time she thought of giving it away. When she finally donated it to a local charity, she said, "I realized my mother wouldn't want me to live in guilt. She'd want me to have peace." Holding on to heirlooms out of obligation steals your joy. You're not betraying your loved ones by letting go. You're making room for the things that reflect you today. So let me ask, how many things are in your home right now that you're keeping only because you'd feel guilty tossing them? Be brave enough to share your answer in the comments. And while you're here, hit the like button if this one hit home. It tells me I'm making the right kind of videos for you. Item number 9. Excess kitchen gadgets. Now, this one may surprise you, because kitchens are often one of the most overlooked clutter zones for senior women. Over the years, so many gadgets sneak in. Extra peelers, duplicate ladles, specialty appliances you swore you'd use every week but only touched once. Before you know it, your drawers are crammed and your cabinets are overflowing. I remember visiting a friend in her 70s. She had 3 blenders, 4 can openers, and a pasta maker that hadn't seen daylight in over a decade. She confessed that every time she opened her kitchen drawer, she felt frustrated, digging through a tangle of tools just to find a simple spoon. When we cleared out the extras, she laughed and said, "It feels like I got a brand new kitchen without spending a dime." And here's the truth. Studies show that cluttered kitchens actually make us eat less healthy. When your counters and drawers are chaotic, your brain registers stress, and that stress drives you toward quick, unhealthy choices. A streamlined kitchen, on the other hand, makes you more likely to cook real meals, because the space feels inviting instead of overwhelming. So ask yourself, how many gadgets in your kitchen do you really use? Do you need 3 whisks? 4 spatulas? Or are they just hiding the one tool you truly love? If this hit close to home, don't just nod along. Go ahead and subscribe right now, because in future videos I'll be sharing entire decluttering systems for kitchens, bathrooms, and even sentimental storage, and I don't want you to miss them. And if you're not ready to subscribe, tell me in the comments why. I'd love to hear your reason. Item number 10. Duplicate items. We all have them. 2 curling irons, 3 nearly identical black handbags, 5 pairs of reading glasses scattered across the bedroom. At first, duplicates feel convenient. One for here, one for there. But over time, they quietly multiply, filling drawers and shelves until you're drowning in doubles, triples, and sometimes even more. I once helped a senior woman sort through her accessories. She swore she only had a few purses. By the end of the day, we counted 14, most in the same color and style. She was stunned. She admitted that she didn't even like half of them, but she had kept buying because she could never find the one she already owned. That's the trap of duplicates. They hide from us, so we replace them, and the cycle repeats. Science backs this up too. Psychologists say too many similar choices actually paralyze us. It's called decision fatigue. That's why, when you're faced with 3 near-identical sweaters, instead of feeling joy, you feel stressed. And ironically, that stress makes you wear none of them. So ask yourself, how many duplicates are lurking in your closet, drawers, or vanity? Do you really need 5 belts? Do you honestly rotate through 7 nearly identical nightgowns? Or are they just adding noise to your space and stress to your mornings? If you're nodding your head right now, then take a second to like this video. It may feel like a small click, but it tells me you want more practical, no-nonsense tips like this, and it helps more senior ladies like you find these life-changing decluttering tricks. Item number 11. Outdated electronics. We often think clutter only comes from clothes or trinkets, but bedrooms are full of old electronics we never use anymore. Think about it, those old alarm clocks, tangled phone chargers for phones you no longer own, dusty DVD players tucked in the corner, or that bulky radio sitting on your nightstand. At one point, these items were useful. Today, they're quietly taking up valuable space, reminding you of the past more than serving your present. I once met a senior woman who had 3 old flip phones in her dresser drawer. She said, "I keep them just in case." But when we checked, the batteries were dead, the chargers were missing, and the phones hadn't been touched in years. They weren't just in case, they were anchors to a time long gone. Letting them go gave her drawer room for things she actually used daily, like her glasses case and journal. Research even shows that cluttered bedrooms filled with unused electronics disrupt sleep indirectly. Why? Because mess equals stress, and stress equals restless nights. The National Sleep Foundation found that people who sleep in cluttered rooms are more likely to experience sleep disturbances, even insomnia. It's not the old gadget itself, it's the weight of what it represents, things you haven't dealt with. So, let me ask you honestly, how many outdated gadgets are hiding in your drawers right now? How much calmer would your room feel if you let them go? And if you're brave enough to admit you've got a drawer full of dead electronics, hit the subscribe button right now. If you don't want to subscribe, then tell me in the comments why, because I'd love to hear your reason. But deep down, you know hitting subscribe today is the simplest step you can take towards staying motivated on your declutter journey. Item number 12. Expired pantry staples and forgotten food jars. This one often hides in plain sight. Many senior ladies keep shelves filled with old spices, canned goods, and jars that haven't been touched in years. Maybe they were bought during a sale, maybe they were saved just in case, or maybe they carry a memory of cooking for a larger family. But here's the truth, holding on to expired or unused food doesn't just take up kitchen space, it creates silent stress every time you open your pantry. Research shows that cluttered kitchens actually discourage cooking and healthier eating, because instead of feeling inspired, you feel overwhelmed by the mess. One woman I knew admitted she hadn't cooked a proper meal in months because her shelves were so full of expired jars and bags that she couldn't even see what she had. After finally clearing it out, tossing the stale flour, the spices that had lost their flavor, and the sauces long past their date, she told me she felt like she had a new kitchen. And here's the guilt trip reality. Every time you see those untouched jars, you remind yourself of money wasted, meals never cooked, and energy drained. Tossing them is not failure. It's freedom. It's making space for what you'll actually enjoy now, not what you once thought you needed. So here's my question for you. If you opened your pantry today, how many jars and cans would make you smile, and how many would make you sigh? If you're brave enough, start fresh. And if this hits home, give this video a like. It tells me you're not just watching, but actually ready to take action. Item number 13. Excess furniture that clutters the bedroom or living space. Let me ask you something. When you step into your bedroom at night, do you feel peace, or do you feel like you're navigating an obstacle course? For so many older women, the bedroom, which should be a sanctuary of rest, becomes a storage unit of furniture collected over decades. That extra chair in the corner, the dresser you don't really use, the little side table that's more catch-all than useful, they slowly pile up, shrinking the very space meant to calm your mind. Science backs this up. Studies show that cluttered bedrooms increase stress hormones and disrupt sleep. Why? Because your brain doesn't just process the bed, it processes everything in the room. And when the room is crowded with excess furniture, your brain remains on high alert, sensing unfinished business instead of rest. Instead of winding down, you're silently overwhelmed. I once spoke with a 72-year-old woman who told me her room felt like a museum of my past. She had furniture passed down from her parents, pieces bought decades ago, and items she admitted she hadn't touched in years. The problem? Her bedroom looked beautiful to outsiders but felt suffocating to her. After she finally let go of 2 unused dressers and an extra armchair, she said, "I didn't just free space, I freed myself. For the first time in years, I slept through the night without waking up." The truth is, every extra piece of furniture you keep just in case is stealing square footage from your peace. Your room doesn't need to look like a showroom. It needs to breathe. It needs to welcome you into rest. So, I'll ask you this, if you're truly ready for peaceful sleep, are you willing to let go of the furniture that's doing nothing but weighing you down? If you're brave enough to admit that your bedroom might be too full, hit that like button right now. Prove to yourself, and to me, that you're serious about reclaiming peace in your most sacred space. And if you won't click like, then tell me in the comments why not. What's holding you back? Item number 14. Empty gift bags and boxes. Tell me honestly, how many empty gift bags and boxes are hiding in your closet right now? 1. 5. A whole mountain stuffed behind coats or under the bed. For many senior ladies, these items start as a smart idea. Why throw it away? I can reuse it next Christmas, or for someone's birthday. And at first, it feels practical. But then, one gift bag turns into 10. One showbox becomes a tower. Before long, what once felt resourceful begins to feel like clutter, quietly swallowing up space and energy. Here's the truth. Most of these bags and boxes never actually get reused. They sit there, becoming a symbol of someday that never comes. And while you may not notice it at first, your subconscious does. Every time you open that closet, you're reminded of things you should be doing, wrapping, giving, saving, when in reality, they've just become another burden. One woman I worked with shared how she found nearly 40 unused gift bags tucked away in her guest room. She hadn't realized how many she'd been saving until she saw them all in one pile. She laughed, then cried. "I thought I was being thrifty," she said, "but I was just holding on to clutter that kept me from seeing the floor of my closet." The irony. By keeping all those bags and boxes, she had no room for the things she actually needed, like clear space to organize her clothes and shoes. Once she recycled the extras and kept just a few favorites, she said walking into her closet felt like a breath of fresh air. And here's the science. Clutter has been proven to raise cortisol, the stress hormone. Even harmless things like bags and boxes create visual noise that tires your brain. That's why you feel so much lighter after tossing them. It's not just about space, it's about peace. So let me ask you, are you holding on to mountains of maybe someday? Are you saving things that are secretly stealing your joy? If you're serious about clearing out the hidden clutter, then subscribe to this channel right now. If you won't hit that button, then tell me in the comments, why not? Why wouldn't you want to join a space that's dedicated to helping women like you reclaim freedom, one declutter at a time? Item number 15. Unfinished craft or sewing projects. Some clutter is physical. Some clutter is emotional. And perhaps nothing captures both as powerfully as those half-finished craft or sewing projects sitting in baskets, boxes, or tucked away in closets. You know the ones I'm talking about, the quilt that never got past the first few squares, the knitting needles still stuck in yarn that's been waiting for someday, or the sewing machine with fabric piled beside it, untouched for years. At one time, those projects represented excitement. They were supposed to be joyful, creative, even therapeutic. But over time, life gets busy. Health challenges appear. Motivation fades. And suddenly, those projects don't feel like fun anymore, they feel like failure. Here's the quiet truth. Unfinished projects don't just take up space on shelves, they take up space in the heart. Every time you see them, they whisper, "You never finished me. You should have done better." That guilt adds weight you don't deserve to carry. I remember one senior lady telling me how she had a box of fabric she bought 20 years ago to make dresses for her grandchildren. Today, those grandchildren are adults. The fabric is still folded neatly, never touched. She told me, with tears in her eyes, every time I see that box, I feel like I let them down. But once she let it go, once she donated the fabric to someone who would use it, she felt freedom. The guilt lifted, and she realized she had given herself permission to move forward. Science even supports this. Research shows that incomplete tasks, what psychologists call the Zeigarnik effect, linger in our minds and create stress. Your brain doesn't just forget them. It keeps nudging you, draining your peace. That's why unfinished projects feel heavier than they look. Letting go isn't about giving up. It's about giving yourself back the gift of peace. Donate the yarn. Pass on the fabric. Let another pair of hands bring them to life, while you release the burden of unfinished promises. So tell me, what's hiding in your home that quietly weighs on your heart? Is it really worth the guilt? If you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time. This community is about more than decluttering. It's about healing, finding freedom, and creating a home that finally feels light again. If you still choose not to subscribe, leave me a comment and tell me why. What's stopping you from joining women who are finally saying goodbye to clutter and guilt? We've walked through 15 powerful items that so many senior ladies hold on to, often without realizing how much they steal peace, space, and even joy. From expired medications to unfinished projects, from broken furniture to sentimental trinkets, each of these items has one thing in common: they take more than they give. Decluttering isn't just about making your home look nice. It's about reclaiming freedom. It's about creating a space where you can breathe, rest, and finally enjoy the life you've worked so hard to build. Imagine waking up tomorrow in a bedroom that feels open and peaceful, with no stacks of clothes reminding you of yesterday's weight. Imagine walking into your kitchen and knowing exactly where everything is, with no expired cans lurking in the back of the cupboard. Imagine sitting in your living room surrounded only by items that truly serve you, nothing more, nothing less. That's not just decluttering. That's liberation. But here's the truth. Change only happens when you take action. These 15 items won't toss themselves out. You have to choose peace over clutter, freedom over guilt, and calm over chaos. So now I'll ask you directly, which one of these items will you start with today? Will it be that overstuffed drawer, that closet full of someday clothes, or maybe that box of forgotten projects? Tell me in the comments. I'd love to know which item hit you hardest. And before you go, remember this. This channel is here to walk with you on this journey. If you found even one piece of value in this video, do yourself a favor, subscribe now. Not for me, but for you. Because if you don't, the clutter wins. And I don't want to see that happen to you. So subscribe, leave your comment, and let's build this community of strong, brave senior women who are finally saying, enough is enough. It's time to clear the clutter, reclaim our peace, and live lighter than ever before.